Today's guest is Darren Kimura, President and CEO of Energy Industries, LLC, a Hawaii-based energy efficiency company. Energy Industries was formed with the mission to provide education and an option for people to be energy conscious and to protect our environment.
So, Darren, the theme of the show is social entrepreneurship, and I know that for your company, you guys have an interesting social mission. Can you share with us how that, interrelates with your business model?
Yeah, our missions, we have a lot of different missions. I think as far as the social entrepreneurship concept is concerned, first and foremost, we try to help businesses save money by saving energy. And I think that's at the core of what we do. As businesses can save energy, they can actually invest that money into other things. And we at least try to endorse or emphasize that they put money back into the community by man hours or whatever the case may be, however they can support, I guess really the perpetuation of business in Hawaii. Of course, the other thing we were talking about was education. And we really believe that education in any form is really critical, particularly in our industry when, as I mentioned, there is no industry today. We spend maybe 50% of our time just educating about what can be done out there because people have no idea. They know that, hey, I can save money or I can do this. We try to get involved by saying, well, listen, here's what you can do. Here's what you can do to get that done. And if you're interested in doing it, give us a call. If not, we'll try and help you do some other things in some other ways.
Is there information on your website for that also?
We, as far as our education component is concerned, we actually like to talk about it. So I don't think that there is a whole lot. We try to drive people into communicating with us or starting a conversation.
So that's where your podcast comes in, right?
Yes, exactly right. We have a podcast called EnergySmartNews.org, and that podcast is designed to promote the social entrepreneurship of education in energy efficiency. And the entire concept of energy efficiency goes much further beyond just saving money. It goes into really our atmosphere, our world. When we use energy more efficiently, we can actually reduce the amount of coal or oil that we're burning, thereby reducing the amount of atmospheric pollution. That's a big thing. Global warming, as I think everyone today is aware of, is accelerating. Polar ice caps are melting, thereby reducing the amount of radiation or adding to the amount of radiation added into our oceans, thereby changing our weather patterns. Not only that, but just atmospheric conditions, smog, acid rain, issues in China. As we all, as a social consciousness, use energy more efficiently, we actually impact the world and thereby impact each other.
So an interesting concept with that, though, is by using energy efficiently, not only do you do good, but you're saving money.
That's exactly right. It's really a true win-win-win in our case. When you do an energy efficiency project, you save money as a consumer. We make a little bit of money. The utilities reduce their demand, thereby reducing the taxing load on their systems, thereby reducing the amount of fuel that they need to consume, thereby reducing the atmospheric pollution. Uncle Sam gets paid in taxes. So it's really a win-win.
So besides the businesses and companies, are you able to give our listeners some tips of what they can do at home? Some things that may be simple.
Yeah, that's really good. In fact, I think if we want to direct our listeners to the podcast, the EnergySmartNews.org, we can actually have a list of maybe the top 10 residential things that our consumers can do. But, I think maybe the top 2 or 3 things would be, one, obviously install compact fluorescent lamps in your home. I think people most often overlook the amount of lighting that they have in their own homes and the amount of heat generated. And in Hawaii, we have a lot of air conditioning systems here. That heat from that incandescent lamp generates a lot of BTUs, which ultimately makes your AC work harder. So obviously, one, maybe put in compact fluorescent lamps.
So what do those lights do, though? They're less hot and they use less electricity to produce the same amount of light, correct?
That's exactly right. That's basically the concept. It uses a very different technology, but that's exactly the concept.
Plus, aren't they supposed to last for like 5 years?
It depends on the amount of operational runtime. They're rated to last about 10,000 hours, which is roughly about 13 times the life of a regular incandescent lamp, which could be 5 years in your home.
So it's good for lazy people, because, for me, I know I installed them primarily because I didn't want to keep changing the bulb.
Right. And of course, you get the same amount of light from it, too. So, all of the above. Absolutely.
How about some other tips?
I think, air conditioning load here in Hawaii is very big. I think if people can put their ACs on timers, maybe not operate it throughout the entire day, that would save a tremendous amount of energy, not just on their bill. And I think everybody in this room is laughing because I think we all kind of do that.
Mine just broke. I left it on.
Well, see, that's the best form of energy conservation, by not using it.
So it's hot, man.
Right. And, I think by reducing the amount of load on your AC, that'd be a really big thing. There's also things you can do with your hot water system. And for example, solar. If you can put in solar, right now we've got some great tax credits. We've got a great federal tax credit, and Hawaiian Electric offers a lot of rebates as well.
Like how much money?
I think Hawaiian Electric is offering about $500 for a system install. I think you get a 35 or 30% from the Hawaii state on your income taxes as far as a credit.
Every year?
No, it's just a one time, I believe. And also, I think there's a 40% Energy Policy Act of 2005 federal tax credit that just was enacted this year as well.
Is there info on that on your website?
Yeah, we have a lot of links of that already, but we'll be adding more. Absolutely.
What is your website address?
The website for the podcast or for the company?
The company.
Energy-industries.com.
So before we wrap it up, Darren, can you share with us a story maybe of a company or business that you were able to help advise, and then you actually took that plan and did it, were able to save them money and made a huge difference?
Yeah, actually, there's one story that comes to mind. It's a large hotel organization in the state of Hawaii. Actually, it's a worldwide organization, but the one unique thing we were able to do with them was we actually started by doing simple things because they didn't obviously necessarily know us at the time. So they started with small little projects, which maybe in aggregation netted them maybe $30,000 in savings a year. And then we took it to the next level. We did some things with their hot water systems. Maybe that's another additional couple $100,000 a year. We took a look at their fuel. We took a look at their energy efficient air conditioning systems. And I think when it was all said and done, it was a couple $1 million in energy efficiency upgrades over maybe a period of 5 years. But the return was probably maybe a 2-year payback. So ultimately they netted maybe a couple $1 million over time. So it was a really nice story and a nice, attribution to what our business does.
And from that, were you able to get referrals?
Absolutely. Success breeds success. So obviously when they started talking about what the great good we were able to do for them, it led into the next project and then to the next project.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Darren Kimura, for joining us today on Greater Good Radio Hawaii. For more information on today's show, please visit us online at greatergoodradio.com. This is your host, Evan Leong and Carrie Leong, saying please join us next time for another episode of Greater Good Radio Hawaii.